Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Jane's Fighters Anthology as we continue with the Baltic campaign. Now, if memory serves, last time we provided some top-level cover for some British tornadoes and U.S. Air Force F-4Gs that were doing SEAD in a strike on a Russian airbase. So it looks like the tide is finally turning. We're starting more offensive strikes, so let's hope that trend continues today. Fighter Sweep, Panaveus Air Base, date August 27th, local time 1400 hours, weather clear. Situation: as we drive the Russian ground forces from Lithuania, we must continue the effort to destroy Russia's tactical air force. Mission objective: perform a combat sweep over Vilnius and Panaveus, engaging any Russian strike aircraft encountered. Threat suppression data: ground opposition SA-9s, ZSU-23-4s, and air opposition of Su-35s and MiG-23s. Electronic intelligence support aircraft AWACS. So we are with the Lithuanians again, so we will sub in the Gripen for the F-16, since again I consider that to be the it's like I could see them using an F-16, but I could also see them operating the Gripen 2s, and possibly even both. And I figure there's plenty of other games that let you play as the F-16. Now, number of games that let you play as the Gripen? Not as many. Actually, I want to go back to the map and just check. Okay, so about 50. Are we? Because this is going to be... Okay, yeah. So we're going to need fuel for this one. There's no getting around that. So I think what we'll have to do is we'll put in a 500-gallon tank. That should hopefully keep our wingmen from running out of fuel and crashing. And then we will also take flare and chaff pods here. We'll be a little light on armament, but this is, at least for this game, a relatively long-range patrol. And while I would love to replace that with a jamming pod or something, I think we might even need the fuel, and for sure our wingmen will need it since they're atrocious at managing their fuel. So with that, let's jump into the mission. Excuse me, sir. I need you to clear the active runway. God, these vehicles acting like they own the place. We got this guy said, oh, it's supposed to be a Humvee. His long distance model isn't so great. There we go. So we get to start up from. Well, let's ease off the afterburner for now, and oops, wrong key. Go mission silent for now, since we don't have to, try to take missiles for someone else this time, which is a nice change of pace. And we have a single wingman, so I'm hoping that we don't face too many enemies. Right now we're seeing only friendlies in the RWR. Looks like plenty of fighters, so we might even get some decent assistance should we run into the Russian fighters, which we will eventually, because that's the thing. That's what I like about... There they are, 50 miles out. That's what I like about games like IL-2 or DCS. Is you might get missions where nothing happens, and that's just like real life, Not every sortie ends up being a combat suit. MiG-21s, really? It must be Belarusian, I imagine, yep. Oh, we're not going to waste our time on that.
Bravo, bearing E5, descending into 13.
So we'll proceed to Cap 1. And so far they are the only aircraft in the air. It's a little unfortunate because those were what, F-15s? Come on. Yeah, we got F-15s, and they're probably just going to waste their... I think these are the famed Polish F-15s, but they're probably, yeah, they're just going to use their AMRAAMs on these guys. It's like, no. Use your sidewinders if you must, but save the AMRAAMs for a target that can actually fight back, you know. Although, looks like there are a fair number of them. Looks like there's 5 or 6. But again, the F-15 should be able to handle them, no problem. Especially the Ace F-15s. Alright, so the F-15s are actually within our IR range now. We are getting pings of another hostile aircraft on our RWR, so let's move to investigate. It looks like we have more friendly aircraft, so they have some bombers in tow, or possibly transport aircraft. And then there's more. There's more to the north. Looks like they're going to intercept. Looks like we got a flight of bombers up north. Let's just pulse our radar on, see what we get. Okay, so our objective is the bombers. That's fair. Yeah, Su-35s, nah. Su-24? Yeah, take them out. And I imagine it's supplemental radar not responding. See, I don't know what's driving that. I mean, maybe we're linked. The mission is set so we're linked from the get-go, but I doubt it, because I've never really seen it. But in any case, we can get a flanking attack on these flankers. Flankers. Who are they fighting? Oh, Mirage 2000s, so they're putting up a pretty good fight, all things considered. I would say the Mirage 2000 is a bit outclassed by the Su-35. I mean, I would say even the F-16 is outclassed by the Su-35, so.
Attack band at 12 o'clock slow.
Alright, come on. We'll let our wingman take a crack at him. There we go. Oh, this is... yeah. This ain't worth using missiles on. We'll just have our wingman cover our rear for now. But the fencers should be... memory serves, they don't have a rear gun turret too, so that'll make this all the more delicious when we close in for that gun kill. Now, in real life, they can be armed with infrared guided missiles for close defense, similar to, you know, most strike aircraft, but their efficiency in combat would be marginal at best, I'd say, because, you know, these things are built as bombers, not as fighters. You know, they can maneuver, they can get a lot, they can fire, and in that regard, they can be just as dangerous, but they're not going to, especially if they have a full bomb load, they're not going to maneuver anywhere near the same efficiency as a real fighter. There we go.
Inbound to waypoint Delta, bearing 232, flying to Angel 17.
We got some drones here that think they're being sneaky, with the real MiG-29s being further out, so I'd go and engage drones, but now I see we have this guy popping up. What's your story? MiG-29, MiG-29M. We got Su-34s here, so we'll use an infrared approach on these guys and knock them out. Because these guys can't be cheap to make. I mean, well, maybe they can. I mean, they're designed to be cheap, you know. Just like the Air Force and the Navy use the MAL series, which are kind of like the newer ones are basically like a cross between a missile and a drone, where, you know, you carry I think a couple of them on one pod, and then you release them before you hit the target, so then they'll emulate the signatures of, you know, various American aircraft that are trying to attack. And the goal is to confuse and overwhelm defense systems, so that way, you know, their fire is spread out and less effective. But the newest ones can even do an electronic attack on top of that. So if you have any homon-jam weapons, they'll go for them instead of the attack aircraft. It's really quite clever. And there's rumors that there's even EMP variants that can deliver a targeted EMP pulse to an area and basically black out the enemy's electronics. Scary shit, because I know, you know, when that car ran into my garage and wiped out a lot of my stuff, it's like, okay, you know, this stuff is, you know, it can be bought again and such, but, you know, something were to, like, if an EMP were to short out this computer, that would be far more devastating, I think, to me. Alright, looks like the Eurofighters won their little skirmish. So, and now they're focusing in on these flankers. So let's give them something to... Eurofighters have lost their skirmish. That's the appeal of these. You know, and the Russians are actually in the process of replacing the Su-24 with the 34, because this thing can carry just as effective a payload, just as much payload. It can defend itself more effectively because it was built as a fighter first, and it's got just about the same range and performance attributes that you know, the flanker has. Obviously, it's going to be a little impaired by the fact that it's been optimized for ground attack over, you know, air combat, but it's still a very capable fighter, more so than the Su-24 ever would be. Not good. Alright, our wingman is taking some heat off of us. Oh, this guy's even almost dead, too. We must have hit him with an AMRAAM, or maybe the Eurofighters roughed him up. Alright. Let's see who he's chasing. There we go, we got one left. I'll take a 60% net chance, and it looks like that was a bad chance to take. Just DOA. There we go. Mission accomplished, so let's go mission silent and head back home, as there is nothing left for us here. Maybe some more hostiles to the east, but we're Winchester. We are not going to do much more. Let's see, can we save our... we will just barely not save our fuel tank, so unfortunately that's going to get auto-jettisoned. I really wish they had the option to keep it. Like, generally you don't keep it because they're disposable, but at the same time, in this game, they really aren't disposable, because you know, that's like one of the things I feel like you should have unlimited of, because I mean, those things are designed to be just dropped off as soon as you're done with them. Hey, the F-15 survived. 249 pounds of fuel left. Can we do this in under 249 pounds? We shall see.
We're almost home.
Alright, put down the flaps. You know what, I'm going to land on the big runway so that way I don't have to taxi as far.
Clear to land. Wind at 7 knots.
Wow, my throttle's been off this whole time. Let's see if we can get a... There we go, nice dip in our speed.
Welcome back.
There we go. A little throttle up at the end. Alright, we have all the vehicles running around trying to kill us. Our fuel rate, our fuel consumption rate. Alright, 2 pounds every like 5 seconds. That's not bad at all. So nervous with, like, I like the detail, but they're also doing things that they never do in real life, like, you know, crossing an active runway that has aircraft ready to take off on it. You know what? Let's park next to our Air Force buddies over here. Definitely see they're a fair bit bigger than us, but just to be expected. The Gripen's more comparable to an F-16 than, you know, an F-15. Damn, they're big. Hey there, nice sortie. And that's our wingman landing. Now let's see, we had 168 pounds of fuel left, so we managed to do this without losing our, yeah, it was like a 500 gallon tank, I think. Yeah, it's weird, because they give the tanks in gallons, but then in mission, it's in pounds of fuel rather than gallons, so I'm sure if I could look up, you know, how much avgas weighs and figure out the conversion, I'm sure, but I wish it would just keep everything in the same units, you know. Not like in combat music. Alright, so he's not going to stay put, so let's just end the mission here. Debrief. Salai Ciauli Air Base. I'm butchering that. Date August 27th. Mission Fighter Sweep. Resolution success. Great work carrying up those Su-24s in their fighter cover. We destroyed all 6 tactical bombers. None of us took any damage. We had 1 fighter killed to our credit, as well as 6 bombers. I think the drones count as bombers. So really, we have a mix of 4 Su-34s and Su-24s. And then probably one of the Su-35s, I think, we got credit for. And then the 2 drones, of course. Well, our wingman has, I believe, 1 Su-35 and 2 Su-34s. So 4 of our missiles actually hit. 1 failed, 1 was spoofed. Our wingman had a little bit better. He had 4 hit and 1 fail. Well, that's just, I guess it only looks better because he didn't fire the other missiles, so who knows if that had failed. He'd have the same stats as us, you know. We had 40% gun hit, which, considering we're only using our gun against aerial targets, it's not that bad, where our wingman has 12%. We had 8 missile launches on us. 2 failed, the rest were spoofed. One of our wingmen, he spoofed it. And then the Su-34s did try to gun us down, but they were not successful. So, there we go. It does look like we've mostly driven the Russians out of at least Lithuania, if not all of the Baltics. I don't quite know how things are going on the Estonian and Latvian fronts, but it seems like Lithuania has been mostly liberated, so let's hope we can keep up the momentum, and looking forward to our next mission. But with that, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next time, and stay safe out there, and stay cool too if you're in the United States or North America at least. It's pretty hot out there today, at least where I'm at, and with that, we'll see you next time.